Mark in the count. The swing arm now coming back as our countdown continues.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Break Something News. Happy Sunday. We've got the Thanos Copter. Welcome back to the Break Something News.
One second.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Break Something News. I'm here with the Thanos Copter, who's handling some sound right now. He is in the Cave of Wonders, apparently, searching for the lamp. If you haven't figured that out. And apparently there's an echo. You good?
Yeah, I guess I had you open in the other window.
I hate that. At least it wasn't some other suspicious audio. What's going on, man? And thank you for joining us today. I know it was last minute. What's up, man?
Yeah, not much. Just lazy Sunday.
Lazy Sunday is the best. Man, I hate workday Monday and workday Tuesday, workday Wednesday. Workday Thursday and Friday's cool until about 5. Anyways, you got it. Are you ramping up for do you get time off and stuff? How does that work out for you?
So most holidays, all the people I deal with are not there. So sometimes I take them off, sometimes I don't. It depends, because sometimes we still have dialysis patients that need rides. So
gotcha.
If the dialysis clinic doesn't switch their schedule, then I'll work Christmas. Not really a big deal to me. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of family in the area anymore, and not really a lot to do. So
cool. Well, for me, we were just talking about our work early this morning on chat. I work with them when they're younger at the schools, and then when they get old and needs extra support, they work with Thanos. So like you, my clients will not be there for about 2 weeks. So I'm looking forward to the break, man.
That's cool.
Let's see. First off, to be clear, we are not into the Masterverse right now. We are actually here on the dead moon. That is the news. Okay, so real quick, we're all over the place, but thank you again for stepping in. For the folks who were paying attention, I was supposed to be hanging out with Cullen of ToyCulprits, but hope that dude is feeling better. He's been dealing with some illness recently, sore throat, that kind of thing. But yeah, he wasn't sure, and he's like, "Oh yeah, man, let me, rest up and get back to you." And I was like, "Yeah, no, you know what? Just get better. That's one less thing for you to have to stress about." So we'll be seeing him in the new year. So we're hanging out with Thanos today on the news.
Glad to be here.
But so for those folks who don't know, let me sort of give the thinking about today's show, because I know between you and me, we've got we've got a lot of toys. Both you and I don't focus.
No.
So it's not there's this line that I get, and there's we pick and choose. We are connoisseurs and taste testers, and I
was thinking about that this morning. I was looking through the toys. I'm like, man, I got this line. I've got this line. Just on my desk, I've got DC.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Horsemen, a lot of Horsemen on my desk today, and then lots of third-party stuff as well.
And you held up some good ones, but yeah, I'm in the same boat. In fact, a lot of the things that you just held up, some of them I have, some of them are so yeah. Which is we're like-minded in that sense of there's just so much. But then the challenge is, of course, if it's a month, the last 2 months, let's say, between all the stuff happening coming out of Legion's Con, all the pre-orders coming in, whether it's your mainstream Hasbro stuff or stuff from the the imports, whether it's from Japan or China or Hong Kong, whatever. It just seems like there's just like toys everywhere. And you and I are like, oh, that looks cool. That looks cool. So it's like this balance, right? Of like, how do I enjoy the stuff that I like and partake of the cool stuff, but in a manageable way. And so I figured, let's look at the stuff that one is actually arriving. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a lot of like stuff finally landing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of, so there's the stuff that we've been sitting on pre-orders that are landing and gonna like, I don't know, like kind of burst out of the closet, right? And then there's a bunch of stuff that's potentially up for pre-order. So like, how do we sort out like what's interesting, what can we actually get, and what can we just be disciplined window shoppers? So I'm curious for the folks that are here now in the live chat and the folks watching after, like, what are two things? Well, let's do it in order. Let's start with the first one. First off, so far in 2024, of the toys that you've had in hand, pre-orders don't count, stuff you're waiting for. What do you think is going to maybe crack your top 10 as people start putting together their end of year lists? Let's do one each.
This guy right here. I mean, not Illidan Storm. I don't remember what they called him.
Demon killer, demon hunter, demon something.
Well, he is a demon hunter, so it makes sense.
I think that might have been it.
But this guy is great. His wings have drooped a little bit, I will say. They were a little more spread when I first got him. Now they're kind of, but he's still really cool. And
you're actually talking about the shape of them, not just at the hinges, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of drooped a little bit, but
they're heavy.
Yeah.
But overall, like, was that the first hero toys that you snagged?
No, I had one of the orcs and the Diablo figure in before I got this guy.
Okay.
I backtracked for that Diablo and paid a little bit more than I probably should have, but he's really cool.
So he was my first hero toys, and it's always like interesting to kind of see what people are doing. And I was super impressed, and I'm with you on having that crack my top 10. But do you remember how long ago did the Diablo figure come out? It's like that would have been their first thing.
It was before I was really paying attention to any of that kind of stuff. So
okay. And are we clear that Hero Toys and Memory/Medi are the same company? Is that a thing?
I think so, but like honestly, I don't really know. I want to say Hero, Memory, Medi is all the same.
Okay.
But I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not an authority on any of that stuff.
Sure. Well, anyway, I agree with you on that one. And for me, let's see. This is like super. I don't think it's just recency bias, but you and I just opened our Figure Obscura Ghosts of Christmas Past on Oz's on the Clubhouse last night. And don't get weird, guys. She's not wearing her awesome CJSM soft goods. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. See, look, there's for the record, it's Brick who has the naked ghost, and it's Thanos who has her fully clothed in her glory. So stop putting this guy in a box. But yeah, no, she's definitely on my top 10 for a couple of reasons. And I'm going to refrain from talking about the secret stuff, but I'll say that the secret stuff that came with this figure and what's under the soft goods here, this body, I think is super exciting for Horseman stuff in general, man. We're going to get a lot of really cool figures, I think, using a lot of these parts, whether it's the forearm thing or this sort of undergarment overlay, and I don't know. I'm excited about this. Definitely in my top 10. What else you got? Let's do 3 that potentially could be in our top 10s. Oh,
dude, this guy is so good. Like he looks so damn cool.
Yeah.
And like when I ordered him, I was like, it's pretty cool looking. But then when I got him, I'm like, well, he wasn't like my favorite out of the wave. Like when I had him pre-ordered. But then when I got him in hand, I'm like, he's the best one in the wave. So.
Yeah, I love him too. The soft goods are amazing too. Like that print that they designed.
But like the paint and like just his overall design, like it looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then like even his sword here.
Mm-hmm. Everything about that figure is like, he is actually now my favorite. I've said he's my favorite Mythic Legions figure. like as is, like the way it's designed without me changing anything out, like just as is. That is my favorite. He replaced Aetherius, the centaur, for
Are
me.
you gonna get the other Jin for the smoke effect? Because I kind of want to pick that up to put him on that lower body.
And definitely consider it, but everything that the way they're talking about it, they're going to try and find a way to make, because they wanted that for him, but they just couldn't get it together in time. So it sounds like they're going to try and at some point backtrack and get like a color that is better for Calazir. Sounds like, maybe. I'm with you on that one. The second one for me is this guy who is actually my first Rumble Society figure. The only other Mezco I happen to have two of the King Conans. I know you and I got that, but that's all I have in terms of Mezco. But damn, this figure is awesome. He's also like, it's a kind of a pain in the ass with all the stuff that these Mezcos come with. I thought Conan was like, oh man, like it's awesome, all the different heads, everything. This guy's got like the tiniest pieces, which are really cool, but then like really it feels like more work sometimes.
Yeah,
but he's cool. Like everything about him, this cape, I don't know, everyone's warned me and like, you know, oh God, I don't know, dude, pleather. I totally hear you. Maybe this will all disintegrate in a couple years, but for now, nice. But anyway,
yeah, King Conan's probably on my top 10 list too, actually.
Yeah. What else you got? You got another one there handy?
I got two,
third.
and it's hard to decide, but I'm gonna go with.
Don't decide. You know how my channel is. You show them both.
Tila,
Love her
from the cartoon collection. She just looks so good. So she's like my favorite Tila so far.
Yeah, I agree with you. Can you hold her up real quick? Like, because I've only looked at her in the stores, but I agree with you. And if I wanted to get her and like use that head for Massive or something, but they're actually decidedly smaller than the other Origins, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean,
fantastic.
But the head pegs don't really fit properly from female to female. Like the male ones switch between Origin and Massiverse, but
yeah,
these ones don't. So
I felt like her head was like a little skinny and like compared to.
Yeah, it might look a little weird on a Massiverse body if you modify it. Now that I'm looking at it.
What's your second? Oh yeah.
I love her. Yeah. I love her.
Yeah. She's fantastic. Again, that was the hint at some of those body parts that we sort of saw come in with the Ghost of Christmas Past. She's great. For me, the third is, I've been talking about this figure, like could be number one in my opinion, but we'll see. Mantis, sexy ice.
You know, I wanted to get her, and then like I had some financial struggles at the end of the year, so she was one that I had to actually just let pass. But she looks great.
Yeah, I hear you, and she's smaller too. But you know, I mean, like she's a small bug person, so that works for me. When I got her, she was cheaper, and then they've since then, like since she's come out, the retailers have jacked her up by about $20. I've seen. I was like, oh, but she, like Palpatine, I'm going to be watching Sexy Eyes' career quite closely because this stuff is cool. Yeah. So that's the thing. These are the, like, we've got a bunch of cool toys this year, and then we've got a couple of things on pre-order. Let's talk about your pre-orders in a second after we say hello to the chat. And while the folks are in here, I'd love to know what's cracking your top 10s as of now. No commitments. But yeah, Dorlaxon is here. What's going on, man? And did you say you had something?
I linked it to you.
Okay, go. I'll bring it up in a second. But Dorlax, as we were going through, he saw your comment, and there's something on this note to share. Let's see. Oh yeah. Let's share this for a second. Boom.
Yes,
you too.
This is an old Photoshop thing I did way back when I was on Twitter. It was just like some like kind of a little advertisement for me, and then I took the Thanos Copter, the Hulk car, a bunch of the old like crazy ridiculous vehicles, and they always just make me laugh. The Magneto car you can see is in there. Aquaman's floating on a seahorse in the background.
As Aquaman does. Where's Aquaman? Do I not see Aquaman?
Behind Wonder Woman and under Doom.
Under Doom. Oh, he's teeny tiny.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
God.
kind of like stuck in a pond on his seahorse.
Hey, man, that seahorse was rad, man. I love those old cartoons. Yeah, with the kid, too. Didn't he have Aqualad with him in
Yeah.
those cartoons? Yeah. Yeah, this is a standard. We knew that with her, but like some of this stuff that they came up with, like I remember the whole Dune Spider-Man little Dune buggy thing. That was rad. Who's this? Is this Green Arrow?
Yeah. They did a bunch of old superhero cars, and that's like some of the box art from the toys. I never had any of those. It's just
I don't even know. I'm totally nostalgic real quick, but this Hulk, is this do you know who made that?
I don't.
Because that thing, all of those bits and pieces look like old Micronauts bits and pieces and the holes that connect them. And of course, being chased down. What's with the fascination? How did you glom on to the Thanos Copter?
Thanos is like my favorite villain. Reading like Infinity Gauntlet back in the day and the Silver Surfer books and like Thanos Quest and just like him on his whole like, you know, he did it for love. He just murdered half the universe for love. And I just always like really, really liked that. And then just seeing the issue of was it Super Spidey something where he's flying around in a helicopter and he accidentally drops the cosmic cube and gets arrested by the NYPD. It was so ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
I loved it. So
yeah, man, comics got crazy ridiculous. Shout out to the New Mutants there, riding Warlock. Anywho, Dorlact, and see what you did. You triggered some memories there. Okay, let's say hello to us. We've got Allison saying, calling you all craggy winter ragamuffins, because she can be cruel sometimes. John, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Hey, man. I am on J Light Saving Sign. We were talking and I totally lost track because that's how I roll sometimes. Larry's Geeky World, thank you so much for stopping in. Hey, it's Jesse, Jurassic Jesse. I love you, man. Good to see you. He's saying hello to you as well. Nolan, hello. Joe Gonzalez, hello, sir. I love that you are now Mythic Joe of mythic proportions. Yar. Ahoy, mateys. What's up, Rick? Good to see you. Josh Brown, hello. Man, thank you for also posting, man. I've been seeing those on Instagram. I appreciate that. Hey, we've got Steph Ork saying hello. Good to see you. Steph is actually going to be over on, I think she's on the Just Shelve It channel tonight. So check her out. Feel free to leave and go check her out because she's cool. Look at you. We got some finds. There you go. Perfect. Product placement. Congrats, Dorlax. And oh, you know how I told you I was going to try and make it to Ross?
Yeah.
This was my first like actual, I guess I just haven't gone out when on a weekend, and that was super wishful thinking. I had to do grocery shopping and then I figured, I'll stop by. Dude, it was crazy out there.
Yeah.
I didn't make it. Spent way too much time at Costco. Hey, Brian, Endless Fables is here. We've got the whole collection. Nexus. Now we got Jesse in the house. We've got, look at you guys. Ronald here, I'm assuming. Yes, sorry about that. But hell yeah, we got Thanos. Thanos is always here. He's the wrench behind the scenes. But everybody's cool, so we don't need mods. We just need somebody helping with links. Dude, you're here twice. They clone you? What's up, Ronald? Berserk 69.
It's funny to be first, but the other one posted.
He's always first. We humor him. What's up, Oz? Good to see you, man. Always love seeing Oz. Love hanging out on the clubhouse. Wish I could hang out longer, but I'm also been having fun on Saturday nights with the fam.
That's good.
Let's see. All right, let's see what people got. Joe is saying Skeleton Legion Builder 2 was a pleasant surprise. Definitely in his top 10. Please do share. I don't know which shows or where you're going to share your top 10s, but I actually would. Someone who basically has it all in terms of legions. I am kind of curious, like what ends up creeping to the top for someone like that. KJ, what's going on? I've been having fun watching those guys on Friday nights over on the Highly Posable channel. What's up? Yeah, you might enjoy it. I don't know if Legend of the Overfiend rings any bells, but okay, cool. Tentacle hentai. Anyway, that got brought up the other night, and I was like, whoa, that totally took me right back. But anyway, what's up? Katie's Toys, good to see you, man. Thanos is center stage. Hell yes. I agree with you. That's a great set. See, my struggle with my top 10 is trying to spread it out among the companies a little bit more. So I do kind of play a little bit by Toy Galaxy, Secret Galaxy, Dan Larson rules that way. So, I mean, there's a world where like the Four Horsemen could kind of dominate just by sheer releases. Because, man, ever since I'm totally all over the place, but since like you've had Legions Con and they announced G-Con, and then it was like, oh yeah, and here's like 2 new lines we're doing, Infinite Legions and the new sort of Legends or whatever it's called. And then it's like, here's a dragon. And then a couple weeks later, oh, hey, Ghost of Christmas Past. And then today or yesterday, there was this other one, or a couple days ago for next year for ZoloCon we'll look at. But it's just like they put out so much stuff and all of its quality that like they could dominate my top 10. Oz is saying Skeleton Legion Builder 2, Ninian Infantry. Yep. Ghost of Christmas Past, Frankenstein's Creature. It's exactly what I was saying, right? It's just like all horsemen.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to do for sure.
Totally. This guy right here, Zio. What's that?
Especially if you're a little more focused.
Yeah, if you can exercise discipline. Zio, hold on. You inspired me, man. He's doing some cool stuff with K2SO, and he inspired me to check out. This was my first Black series. So Zio Adams inspired me to get relatively cheap. He was like $14. But I am intrigued by the robot, and he's larger. So anyway, Zio, thank you, because you're making me spend money, more money than I would have planned.
Where'd you pick him up for $14?
Amazon had him on sale. I think it's still $14.99 now, but it was $13.99. And I think that was closer to Friday. Like I was like, oh, cool, Black Friday. I mean,
I've been leaning a little more sci-fi lately, so like.
Check out Zio Adams' Instagram. He's doing some cool stuff with like printed heads and some other stuff going on. But yeah, he does cool stuff. Anybody else with their top 10? We got Ray here. I wonder if they will make a Kali out of that buck. Man, I could totally see it. Also, an Aswang or Manananggal from the Philippines, and I'll leave it at that. But if they had more of like a vampiric kind of mouth, like would be a dope one for this. But so many possibilities, Ray. That's the thing. It's like they introduced like this new body that I think that they could do all sorts of cool stuff. We got Ray. What's going on? Ray got to win some stuff last week with Rob, which was rad. Let's see. Nolan is saying, I want to say Vincent Price and Christopher Lee Dracula, but haven't received them yet. Hopefully NECA gets them out soon. You got your couch, and I believe Nolan saw this, but do you happen to have it on you? Because he just picked this up the other day, and people were saying, yeah, man, I could see like Vincent Price chilling on that couch. That velvet. Yeah.
So it's
really cool.
$40. I've got like accessories in here right now. Oh, spoiler. Thick Legions.
No one saw nothing. But
yeah.
What are you, a punk with toys?
I guess so.
It's when you open that up, it's like it's like an IKEA thing where you can store like the cushions and stuff underneath.
But at DD's $8. I was looking for more stuff like that. I was hoping like they had some more furniture. Would be cool, but this is all I found. But I keep my eye out.
I gotta hit up a DD's. We only have the one up here, and I still have not been to it.
They're pretty hit or miss, but every once in a while you find something cool.
Andrew is also obsessed with that Tila. It's a great one. If he was Thanos, he'd be riding around in the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile for sure. Oh, and that's a Mego Hulk. Got it. So did Mego make? Oh, I gotta check that out. I'm really curious because
they did a ton of those vehicles back in the day.
Okay.
I just thought those ones were kind of funny, so I put them in the picture.
Let's see. Anybody else? Hey, what's up? Assuming maybe Jorge. What's up, Toy Addict? AKA Realm Toys. I should show that as well. I got to show up their awesome shirts they have on pre-order. Justin Moan is here. Man, I know I'm dragging through this, but sorry, I'm just saying hello to the folks. It's the holidays. We're hanging out with friends. Mint with Card. We've got John, figuratively speaking. Hello, sir. It's been a minute. Good to see you. Mint with Card found. I love that filmation thing. Every time I hear it, it's like
I'm getting
I start salivating. Like finally found the TOG. What's TOG? Leatherhead. Turtles of Grayskull, Leatherhead, and the new Riddler in the wild this weekend. Congratulations. I love finding stuff in the wild. Let's see who else. What's this? Bunch of nerds talking about dollies. Yep. And you've come to the right place. I've heard you talk about it too. What is your image, dude? I've never focused on that.
Pickle Rick.
From?
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Okay. You know, that's a hole in my pop culture. Would you?
Pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I actually have a couple Rick and Morty figures.
Are they by who?
I don't know. I don't remember.
But they look like the show.
Yeah.
Just 3D. Okay. Because I've seen some people do customs and try and make them like, realistic.
What's funny is when the guy got canceled, I had just put them in like a garbage. Like I have a little like garbage bin. I was like going to store them in here. And like the night after that is when the guy who voiced them got canceled. And I was like, oh.
Got found out. It's really, but I know. I hear you. Jesse's got to work on his top 10. Let's see. It's been such a weird year. I don't even remember what I got in besides classified. Yeah, it's been heavy. There's been all sorts of stuff, and there's been very few things that I think have been sort of bad. That said, you and I tend to like, because we are so piecemeal, like we tend to evaluate, right? Like rather than just like I buy things because this is a line that I buy. Yeah. So maybe that's part of the difference.
So with this guy, I do have a couple complaints. I wish his head came back a little bit more, and I wish there was like a pivot on these hooves. Mm-hmm. But I mean, everything's got its issues, but he's great still. So
yeah. And everyone has their sort of biases, but it's hard. Yeah, I got to evaluate. It's like I'm not looking for articulation and everything. I kind of look at the merits of stuff, but that thing is great. Like people don't even talk about the light up stuff and how it came with an imp and like, is that right? Is that right, Mr. Warcraft?
Fell Void Walker.
See, I totally screwed that up. Bad nerd.
When you're fighting the game, he throws one of his glaives down, and then like a bunch of those things spawn, and you have to fight them.
Oh. Yeah. See, gotta play it. John is saying, who do you think is better, Four Horsemen or Fury? Fury. Like, I'm assuming maybe you mean like Fury, because Fury would have been. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean, because there's a bunch, right? There's Fury toys that became Rage toys, and then there's still Fury toys that's releasing like some of those Julian Tigers and a bunch of other stuff. One of two companies in it. So, but if folks know me and kind of, I'm not going to speak for you, but I don't really kind of go like which is better. So
they're fun together.
Exactly. It's okay, dude. I don't want variety. I just kind of want to know how you select, given all the amazing things that come out from 4-H in a year. That's the thing about the 4-H this year. It was like there's a normal sort of like waves, and then there were a bunch of surprises. Like those skeletons were a surprise. The Ninian infantry was a surprise. The skeleton 3-pack, whatever it was like there's just all these things that like were extra on top of what they normally do. So they're both high quality in different ways. And they also have two very slightly different aesthetics. I feel like Four Horsemen leans more on the sort of photorealistic kinda. I mean, clearly they're not totally photographs, but the way they paint, there's a lot of blends and stuff. And I feel like in that regard, the Fury toys, depending on which you're talking about, tends to lean a little bit more on the sort of illustrated thing. I don't know. Okay, I think I got we got Gabriel. What's going on? Good. You get those kids do their things. We'll see you. We'll see you when we see you, friend. But thank you for stopping in. And Yeah, there's a ton of folks, and I really appreciate that. I'm just trying to see. Yeah. All right. Let's Frankie, we got Que Pasó, Frankie, and let's move on. Did I miss any 10? If I did, I'll try and come back. Yeah, cool. Oz, I see your comment, and I'll leave that for your channel, but I understand what you mean. Okay, let's actually, so we talked our top 10s. Let's talk real quick pre-orders before we kind of talk about the figures, because that's kind of what we're going to look at. We're going to look at stuff that's available for pre-orders. We have stuff that's landing. What have you got right now? And let me just bring up a...
I have too much stuff on pre-order right now, and I've canceled a bunch too. So, but that new Mithril Studios orc, I don't remember what they're calling it, but it's the black hand. It's like, you know, he's got like the orange like lava throughout like the whole thing. That's like one of the ones I'm most excited for. And then I'm probably going to get 4 from the new Legions line. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I will before the end of the month.
Okay. From the Reign of the Beasts.
Yeah, from Reign of the Beasts.
Sorry, I can't help it. I'm a visual person, so let's go ahead and start in. This is what you're saying. This is the guy. Yeah, I'm with you. I got this guy on pre-order.
It's one of the ones I'm most excited for. He just looks too cool.
He was one that I didn't hesitate on. And then you said Reign of the Beasts from the Horsemen, which comes up later. But yep, I'm with you, and we've covered that. Any other things that you've got?
I'm trying to think of like, because I have a ton of stuff on pre-order at 5K. Stuff that I don't even know when it's going to come out. Like we were talking about the Griffin the other day.
Right.
It's cool, but I've had it pre-ordered for like a year, maybe longer. And I've got the 2 Undeads that are Warcraft knockoffs on pre-order as well.
Me too. They're not knockoffs, but no, I hear you. Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know what to call them. I'm just, you know, because they're not Warcraft toys, but
I forget. Does Medi have their own thing?
I think it's still under memory.
Sorry, folks. This is there. See, look at that. Okay.
I got that little Murloc on pre-order too. That guy.
There you go. We solved it. Yeah, it's pretty much confirmed. Medi is hero. Yeah, this guy's super cool. I didn't pre-order him, but I just think he's really cool looking. Wasn't even planning on looking at this guy today, but that's awesome. But the one that you just mentioned, we'll look at him later. What did you just mention again? Help me out.
I was saying they had like the undead ones.
Yeah, that's right.
I got that panda on pre-order. I canceled the Fury Panda Brothers. I've got that orc, the one with the bigger body, on pre-order too.
Yep. All that to say, man,
maybe I just buy too much.
Yeah, I'm with you. And there's a ton of stuff. And well, you know what? Like I've got a ton too on pre-order. We'll come back to these guys because I definitely want to go. Let's go ahead and just sort of jump in then as far as like what's coming up in the quote unquote news. So let's go ahead and start here. If you're unfamiliar, you'll see that little QR code down there, and there should be a thing coming up in the bottom. So bit.ly/brick something news, capital B, capital S, capital news. That'll take you to all the links. I recently reorganized them so they load a little quicker. If you're ever kind of curious, stuff that we've looked at in this episode or past episodes, go there. With that said, let's go ahead and jump in then. Here we go. Because I know you're waiting for this.
Should be in Tuesday.
Oh, already? Cool.
Yeah, it's already shipped. So
yeah. So tell us, again, I'm pulling you out of your Wednesday hump day box, and I'm going to put you into a different box, your Warcraft box. Who is this character, and why is it awesome?
That's King Varian Wrynn. He's complete badass. He's the king of Stormwind, which is like the main city for the humans, leaders of the Alliance in Warcraft. If you played Warcraft, like he's kind of a gruff character. He was missing for a long time. There was a mystery about it. He comes back. He had been amnesiac and like fought in like gladiator arenas as a slave. Comes back, takes the throne, gets in the middle of the war. The demons invade and he sacrifices himself to save a bunch of people. He's a great character. He's a lot of fun and he just looks cool. So
this these newer shots for this sort of like now shipping announcement, definitely I feel like I'm seeing more of him than I did in the original solicits. And I feel like or maybe I'm just noticing more, but he looks really good. And his figure looks really good.
Yeah, I heard there's a little like their articulation isn't quite up to some of the other toys, but I mean, with that big bulky armor and all the soft goods, it's not super surprising.
This is the one. I remember these photos. But when you say it's not up to compared to the other in this line, the other Medi Warcraft stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is a different company, but yeah, like the arms seem to have a little less articulation. I watched Unparalleled Universe video on it, and he was talking about it. But he still looks great. Like, I'm sure I'll have fun with him.
So this is actually a company called Bro Toys, then?
Yeah.
Sorry.
They did God of War. They came out not that long ago that everybody was raving about.
Got it. The one that had like the new sort of like molding process, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Wade also reviewed that figure. Well, he looks super cool. I am kind of curious how these all work, like these different overlaid like soft goods, but it looks like they've got like glued on trim and stuff. So I definitely want to check that out when you get it.
Those are wired. The little pouch on his side is magnetic. He's got a magnetic thing on the back to put his sword.
Oh, okay.
And then his eyes move too. Like you can pop out the faceplate and move his eyes.
Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks great. So he's going to come this week?
Yeah, he should be in this week.
We'll see it on the clubhouse next Saturday, I'm assuming. You'll be able to bring it on?
Oh, yeah.
Cool, because he's not one that I bid on, but he looks rad. So that's like, again, one figure down that's coming in. I know you didn't jump in on this, did you?
No.
Man, I didn't either. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Obviously, I don't know if folks have seen the sort of Lego stuff, but I love this ship. This is one of the sort of like newer ships post the movies, the original movies, the first 6 movies. Whose design I kind of fell in love with. This and the Razor Crest, I feel like really are great sort of Star Wars-esque designs. And oddly enough, those happen to be the 2 that they did HasLabs for, right? The vintage collection. This thing looks amazing.
Yeah,
and
it does.
All the paint and all that, like the sculpted detail is one thing, but then all the deco and like it's really cool. And I don't know if have you ever seen the Razor Crest HasLab in hand?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've seen pictures of it, not in hand.
It's amazing too. I want to say almost just based on what I'm seeing that the Razor Crest might even be a little bit better in terms of like the deco. There's something about this one that feels more toy-like than that one, but I could be wrong because these are just photos.
I mean, it could be like this is based on a cartoon and that's based on live action.
True. Very true. This is from SWTVC. It's also somebody they got this pretty early, and so I was looking at this earlier this week, and they're the figs. So these are the smaller 3 3/4 figures. This is the underside, and good on them for spent the majority of the details on the top, the visible side, but still kind of cool to see this stuff. I think this is amazing. If anybody got it, man, I'm so happy for you, and invite me over so I can look at it because this thing is really cool. Look at that. All the details on the
interior
inside.
is amazing. Like seeing those shots is crazy.
Yep. I just think it's really cool. I've always found this a little corny, but it's cute that they included it, that each character is sort of like, has their seat is reflects their personality or whatever, but it's cool. Anyway, I think this thing is rad, and it sort of it continues this whole like we're in this era where people are like taking big swings for what they can make in terms of toys / collectibles, and this thing is really cool.
I would love to see some dios that are like 1/12 scale of like the individual rooms or ships. Like that would be great.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it'd be really cool and just kind of give us like little rooms and stuff. I think that's coming, man. There are definitely, I know people kind of like circling that drain in terms of maybe not circling drain, but like people are looking at that. And I feel like more and more we're seeing hints at dial makers or playset makers. It's just going to be a matter of time before somebody comes around and is like, hey, let me make stuff that is, well designed and can work with a bunch of lines and look well in your shelves. So, but right now it's like definitely pricey. That's the biggest challenge for some of that stuff, because it's like I feel like it's a huge investment, right? To get like one or two, and then I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. The Batman 66 ones are pretty cheap, really nice. Yep. You can use them with a lot of stuff. But then the talk show set that they did was ridiculously priced, and it's like, okay.
Yeah. There's that box, man. Whew, sorry, that brings me right back. That thing is so cool. Anyway, curious, anybody here get the ghost? And if so, can I come over? Let me know, and I will be there. All right, let's see what else we've got going on. Okay, we already kind of shared this. Let's talk about the figures that have arrived a little bit. This one is one of them. I just wanted to make room to talk about this one. We already kind of started talking about it earlier, but I think it's really cool that Four Horsemen have the successful line in Mythic Legions, and they obviously did Cosmic Legions more recently, and that's awesome. And then they have this sort of like third little thing that's special. Like every couple of months we get a figure, and it's always this like surprise in stock drop, and this was the one for the holidays.
Always I think that's cool. I'm like, maybe I won't need it, and then I see it, I'm like, oh no, I need that.
Yeah, that was a conversation on the clubhouse yesterday. It's like I found myself for the last couple. I'm like, oh, I'll buy one, and then I'm like, damn it, I should have got a second one, and end up ordering again. That's exactly that's the one thing I'll say real quick. Oz, maybe we don't wait as long, because when we wait to unbox and then I realize like last night, oh man, I want another one, and it's no longer available. A little bit of a bummer.
I kind of wish I got a second one of her.
Yeah. Is it for like customs and stuff, right? Or like different versions?
Yeah. Yep. I don't want to say anything about the special piece, but it made me want like a whole nother body. So,
Yep, exactly. And for folks that don't know, the holiday theme ones are around December. Always, or so far, have had like a little bit of an extra surprise in them that's not in photos, not advertised. And generally speaking, the studio with like the hardcore fandom says like, hey, please keep it a surprise until after December 25th. So that's what we're referring to. So we're trying to honor that and not reveal it. But it is cool. I agree with Thanos wholeheartedly. But just, oh man, just take a look. Like I really think the sculpt is beautiful. I think her face is there's a lot of cool possibilities there. I've seen people like different paint apps and stuff. Yeah, man, she's really fantastic here.
I love the helmet. Like it's so cool.
It's got crystals. It's got like a glowing kind of like fiery crown in the center. Yeah. Even that accessory, the snuffer thing, it's so cool and so different that like, I don't know. So again, this figure's rad. It has all the things we've talked about it before. I just wanted to like take some space to talk about it, because to me, it's like the perfect example of like they being the Four Horsemen just keep giving us new figures. And when they do, like they're not, like they're giving us new stuff. The whole extra 2-arm thing, that's a new piece. The whole underbody is a new piece. The fact that her head is separate from the hair. Anyway.
Yeah. That's a really cool feature, actually, like to be able to put the different heads in either of the crowned or uncrowned hair pieces.
Yeah, we were talking with Trevor on the clubhouse yesterday about that possibility, and just like, can you imagine doing that for a lot of their figures, where you can like swap out hair, and then customizers could do different hair or helms or helmets. Anyway, And I'm pretty sure we're not saying anything that the creatives at Four Horsemen haven't already thought about. So yeah. So like here, Joe's saying, I think the back adapter will make an appearance in Cosmic for sure. Absolutely. I can see it Cosmic, Mythic, even though it has like that little armory bit, I could see that working for some characters down the road. Yeah, man. Joe may have bought two. I got the Ghost Christmas pass. Stop by whenever. Will it fit on the back of a dragon? I'm not sure if you're talking about
the Ghost.
Oh, the Ghost. Man, imagine Ghost versus dragon. Anyway, yeah.
The kind of thing you need toys.
Yep. Lone Dragon is saying, I said I should have gotten a third also because of the bonus bit, but I'll just get the retail version bonus for the variety. 100%. Yeah, I wonder what they're going to do for this one for the extra. Maybe just different colorway. I'm wondering maybe like translucent.
I don't know. I hope they go green because I think she'd be a great Xylona's flock member, like in green.
Like full on green dress and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Especially with that crown. Yeah, I could see that. Anyway, I think she's great. Let's move on. Let's talk about these Axie Toys dinos. So they've been teasing they're sort of ceratopsians. If you're not a dino person, that includes like your triceratops that a lot of us knew about as a kid, but there's like a bunch of them, different types of dinosaurs that have a similar sort of skull structure. But they have their new body, those new ceratopsians coming through, and they've been the last couple of weeks been doing these giveaways. So right now there is this post. You just need to follow this account, Axie Toys. You need to, I think, follow also 5K Toys, and then repost and do a comment. And a couple lucky winners, I think 2, will get the figures at random. But aside from the sort of giveaway piece, I think these figures are really cool. I didn't realize that they had the sort of like Roman armor kind of vibe.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen these. I haven't got any Axie Toy stuff, but I've looked at those dinos a few times and just haven't pulled the trigger on them. But they look good.
I haven't gotten any either. I'm with you. I love the other one. There was like an alt head that they were going to do for the other one that hasn't been released yet that I might have bid on. But I love this guy. I love the painting on these. Like they're very like realistic. Yeah. The way that don't come at me. I know
like blood all over it too, like the shield and his armor.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I think, as far as I could tell from the different ones, certain ones are bloodier and than others. So this is sort of the one that comes with all the bloodied armor. Not sure what type of ceratopsian that is. I'm sure folks can let us know. This is a different one, but take a look at that. The way that this thing hangs out on the nose. I love that. And then you have the horns popping out still.
Yeah, that's
very cool. And then you've got this guy, the third. So they're really cool. They definitely are on the pricier side if you're trying to collect all 3. I think this might be the first Axie Toys I might jump in on though. So I just haven't decided which one. So who knows? Rick saying I need the T-Rex guy. That was the second one they released, larger body than the first one they released. These guys are going to be a little bit shorter, the ceratopsians, than that. I'm with you. Oops, I'm with Oz. I need to get some of these for science. Totally get that. Apparently a little budding paleontologist over here, Torosaurus maybe. This is Axie Toys, which Rick says here. Yep, Axie Toys. And this is where I'm at too. I've got Defenders of Eden of all like these pre-orders things in 2025. This is probably one of the earliest ones I'm going to be getting. Between this and I think Necronominus are probably going to drop around the same time. So,
yep, those will be cool too.
Yeah, but I think they're really cool. If you want to try for that giveaway again, go follow them. See if you can see if you luck out. But let's move on to toys that are I just think are really cool, but these aren't even in the conversation for me. I don't know where you are. Are you doing any 1/6 Motu?
No, I don't really do 1/6 at all. I have enough space issues with everything else, but I think their Motu stuff looks great. So I am interested to see how their 2000X stuff comes out. Hoping it's a little cheaper than some of their other stuff, and I hope they up the articulation a little bit.
Yeah, so this
I
is
don't.
Mondo. Sorry, real quick, I realized I didn't mention that. This is Mondo. This is their 1/6 Masters of the Universe, the one that was more recently announced or available for pre-order. Or I guess upcoming. I don't think it's out yet, but is this guy the Buzz Off, which is over here, and the timed edition comes with a bunch of extra stuff that you see here. It says pre-order now through Friday, December 20th at noon Central Time, only at mondoshop.com. But then these are the rest of them. So that's all 1/6. So they're larger figures, almost 12 inches. But what you're mentioning about 2000X, for the folks that are unfamiliar, that's a new thing that they're doing. That's going to be 112, right?
Yeah. I was close on the Orko. I had him in my cart, and I was like, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But,
he would have been interesting. He would have been a larger Orko on your shelf.
Yeah, it would have just been something for a display piece. Like, I always liked Orko's design. I know people don't like Orko, but I like Orko.
Yeah, I generally don't like the characterization in Filmation, but I think he's a cool looking character, and I could totally get behind like a wizard with a sort of shadowy face and blue little elf ears.
And I like the details they did with the Mondo one. Like they just kind of enhanced them a little bit.
How'd you feel about their take on Buzz Off?
I think he's really cool. I like the lance too. Like I think that's a good weapon for him, better than the old axe he had.
Yeah, that's pulled from the lore too, right? And he's supposed to be like a knight kind of character.
Honestly, I don't remember too much about Buzz Off.
I might be pulling that out of my boom boom hole, but I love the heads too, right? So you've got the different looks. You've got this one, and then you've got this that kind of leans a little bit more to that helmet that came with the old vintage.
Yeah.
And then you've also got this one that's definitely more of that friendly kind of thing that was going on with the I don't know. That's a little bit of in between sort of vintage and I don't know. There's a lot of 2000X inspired stuff here too.
Yeah.
What trips me out is the armor set. Like it really reminds me of AWOC armor.
Oh yeah.
And I'm by no means making accusations of like whatever, it's in the zeitgeist, but just like they're always red, similar to me. I think it looks cool.
Similar thing with Lino too. Like his redesign has that kind of look to it.
Yep, same thing. When I look at the Lino, I'm like, oh yeah, that's very like similar to AWOC armor. But I think it's cool. I'm not super into the techie wings myself.
I mean, he always had that kind of tech on his wings, though. So
true. I guess it's the animal thing. He's so like, he looks cool as an organic kind of thing. That said, man, the Mondo redesigns are great. I'm with you that if they end up like taking that level of detail and the sort of love that they have for those characters and put them into the 112, I could be buying quite a bit of those. I hope the prices are good.
Yeah, and I hope they up the articulation too, because I think it's about time we have He-Man that can dual wield and
sure,
or not dual wield, but like two-handed.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so too. They do great stuff. The molds, everything is great. Like design, sculpt, paint. Now it's just for them to kind of like figure out articulation maybe a little bit more. Kind of like the way Four Horsemen is sort of like revamping that side of things and pushing it, but in a way that's still like paying close attention to the integrity of the sculpts. So
yeah.
It's going to be tricky, though, because it's going to be some of their first 112. So we'll see how that works out. But, man, more stuff to buy.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Four Horsemen, This was just a shot that was just put up today, but I was like, oh, really cool how they're like, the pre-order on these, this current wave, the Reign of the Beast, ends on the 29th. So it's cool that they're just sort of like trickling out more information about these to kind of keep you remembering and interested. But as they point out here, the this close-up kind of shows you how this all connects and how that fits in the armor. It says the shot shows some of the paint applications and sculptural details of the new figure. I mean, I really love just seeing how that head sits in this armor piece.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And it also, did you get your hands on an Indian infantry?
No, not yet.
Because just like, there are some things that are visible in terms of the way that the neck is cut. And this this really just does a good job of disguising it, man. I love the idea that this is essentially like eagle armor with a snake inside. And they're like totally embracing the whole like Mexica thing. Because I don't know if folks realize on the Mexican flag, there was a picture of an eagle battling a snake on a cactus. Because that comes from the prophecy that the Aztecs would find a snake fighting with a snake fighting with an eagle, or an eagle killing a snake. And that's where they should build Tenochtitlan. And it's kind of cool because essentially this is like an eagle eating the snake. I love it.
There's some deep thought in the design.
Yeah, man, they're artists, man. They're like, they study their stuff, they research their stuff, and they're like, how do we process what's up in here and put it into plastic? But gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at that.
Even the eye, like crazy.
Here, let's go back real quick because there's some Motu talk. So Nick's here and saying that Lance is so cool, agrees with you, and as Allison points out herself, definitely like a Motu historian. Some of the early designs gave him this sort of lance, which is kind of cool. They're always kind of like pulling from that. The heads are the best part, and I'm assuming that's also from Motu for the 3 buzz-off heads. So much great things about that offering, man. Jason's Electric, what's going on? Hector said we would get Evelyn by end of this year. Would that entice you? I know you're partial to Evelyn.
I mean, it would entice me, but I don't think I'd bite. So,
because what they did with She-Ra, man, that was like, that portrait is for me one of the best female portraits in action figures.
Yeah, her and Tila both really cool. But I mean, if they're gonna do 2000X, they'll probably do a nice Evelyn, So.
Mm-hmm. Make sure that that same buzz off, make that same buzz off in the Lord scale, and I'll take at least one. I love that, man. Do you watch what is his name? Displaying model behavior. Have you seen that channel?
I've probably seen it, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Brit living in Japan, I believe, but that's his thing. He calls 112 the Lord scale. And then back to this, these snake characters are so cool. Yes, and the color is what I'm really liking about what's happening with Legion's post boxes. You can tell it's like they're like exploring color in this awesome way, embracing it. Look at that. Oh, so good. What's this about? Are you getting an Indian?
Yeah, they were gonna give it to Bud, and Bud's like, give it to Thanos. And I was like,
oh, that's right. Awesome. I was there. So. Love it. Joe, I can't believe it. You're getting multiple of Mythic Legions. Yeah, no, totally makes sense. If they're Royal Guard, you need to have at least 2 to flank Basilia for sure. Basilia, and they all look awesome
too. Basilia looks great too. Like, I'm really looking forward to her.
They all look awesome. I can't wait for Leodicius. Yeah, what's your strategy for this Reign of the Beast? Since we're kind of talking about trying to make sense, supposedly, about what we're
my strategy is I have a couple of more big bills coming up. So depending on what happens at the end of the month, if I can afford to, I'll order it from 4 Horsemen, and then if not, I'll go through the retailers. I'm probably going to get 4, maybe 5.
Characters.
Yeah.
Any repeats among those 4 and 5? Like
no. Just in like maybe later I'll be like, oh well, I need another one of this for something, but I don't tend to order multiples at the same time.
Yeah.
And I don't do a lot of customizing, although there's a few things I do want to do with Mythic Legion, so I've been looking a little more at that. But
even just popping and swapping,
yeah, I don't trust my
is
paint
custom.
skills, but
that's 2025. That's part of my resolution, is to do some painting.
yeah.
I will say for me, I'm definitely all in on the wave, but I'm trying to figure out beyond that, because there's a lot of really cool parts, and we covered it before, but like all the double elbow things that are happening right now on Wednesdays, I think it was Mythic Customs. Jeremy was sort of showing like all the new parts, and recently Bill from Dorklair put up a video that kind of breaks it all down, and there's some really cool parts in there that could be fun. And like basically between those two videos, between Mythic Customs this week and Bill, made me mentally start adding things to the order.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I don't know how that's going to affect whether or not I get the dragon. I'm still out on the dragon, folks. That adventure in my brain continues. I'm still leaning towards no, if I were sensible. But
I'm not sensible, and if I can swing it, I will get that dragon. But if I can't swing it, then maybe one of the other dragons.
Yeah. Oz wants all the snakes, and let me have a giant snake mating ball to make more snakes. Man, if it worked that way. Basilia would lay a big clutch. Look at you again. Paleontology. There's a word for snake studies. I had to forget what it is. But yes.
All right. But I definitely want to get the beasts. I'm hoping I'm sure they will re-release the other ones at some point.
Yeah, it was the same for me. It was like I started getting the horses. I started getting the horsemen. And then I was like, I need to have the horses. And then at that point, I was like, oh, God, I got to have all 4. So it's the same with the beasts, right? So here we go, contradicting what we said earlier. Now we're putting requirements on things that we have to get. But
I mean, I do want like pieces of lore like represented on the shelf. So like
sure.
The horseman was the concept of the horseman is what sold me on Mythic Legions. Just as I really like the idea of like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Like, I could use 4 horsemen of the apocalypse on my shelves. So got them. It's like, and then as the waves come out, it's like, well, this looks pretty cool. So I start building their armies out.
Yeah.
The horsemen are hard to deny. Like you just see their stuff and it's like, yep, that's cool. Yep, that's cool.
Exactly. Like there's not a lemon really. It's just sort of like they keep just putting out really good stuff. Here's Joe trying to raise a campaign. Come on, people, become a channel member so Brick can get the dragon. No, y'all don't have to do that, but I appreciate all the members. And I'm really thinking about 2025, folks, for the members. I really want to step that up. I've been a little bit shy about doing like a members only stream, but if folks are interested in doing those, I'm going to do them. I don't know. I don't know what those will be like, but whatever. We'll just hang out. And yes, study of herpes, herpetology. Thank you, Oz. Appreciate that. John says, I don't do mythics, but those 3.0 bodies are a must. Wait, am I missing something, John? I thought you did do mythics. I guess not. Can't wait to see when those bodies make the jump to cosmics. Oh, are you mainly a cosmic guy? And Oz supports Joe's campaign. Yeah, well, no, don't do that. I don't think I got to sort that out. But the channel member stuff, I will tell you, helps me support the channel. StreamYard's getting expensive, although I think I found a solution for that. All this stuff does, but whatever. That said, let's talk about toys. Let's talk about this. Case in point. Hey guys, G-Con, we're going to reel you a wave. Oh, by the way, at G-Con, we're going to tell you that we've got a couple new lines in the works. Oh, here's a dragon. Oh, here's a figure, obscura figure. Oh, here's a surprise Ninian. And by the way, next year at ZoloCon, 4 Horsemen is also going to be dropping this guy. For folks who aren't familiar, ZoloCon is a Zolo World, right? Don't they make figures, and they have the IP for what was the old Remco line, right? What were they called? The Warrior?
Warrior Beast, I think is what this one's from. But
Gotcha.
what else did they have? They had Warlords. Blanking on the one.
Warlord, the
Dylan.
character, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one that Formo's doing that I can't think of the name of right now.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
They had a Hercules too, back in the day. I don't know if Zola World has it, but they basically they have their own con. They make their own figures, and they worked with the Horsemen to do an exclusive last year from the Warrior Beasts sort of IP. They released Skullman. This year they're doing Headhunter, and that's this guy. If you're wondering, it's like, wait, didn't they just do another Skull guy? Yes, they did. It was in the zeitgeist in the 80s when Remco was trying to create their own, very similar to Masters of the Universe IP. But I think it looks cool. And this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I want to go for this guy. Where are you at?
He's cool. I don't think I'm going to try to get him though. I really like the alt head though. But I mean, we're going to get a version of that with the undead builder from N.E.W.S, which I ordered a couple of those. So,
and obligatory shout out to Trevor, by the way, 1/6 shooter, because these photos are awesome. The whole like the spooky blue tones in that spooky looking forest, awesome. And then if folks can see, there's this sort of painted skeleton on his muscular body. And this time those are actually going to glow, which is kind of rad. But what's funny is I was saying on Adams earlier that this looks a lot like the Masterverse Revelation kind of take on Scareglow.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately very similar to the original. But when I saw this, everything from the cape and all that, and that one glows. At least the SDCC one did. So it's kind of neat to see this because it's 4 Horsemen, right? Like no shade to Masterverse, but the level of like realism on these, and look at that, like all the little pits and stuff that you see on the skull. This is going to be definitely one that I'm going to try to pick up, especially with these sort of new boots. I'm assuming these are the calf cut boots that came with the Kaipacha. So I don't know. I think this is really cool. Do you happen to know what the deal is with getting this though? Have they shared that at all?
I think the last one was available online and at the con at the same time. I don't know. I didn't really bite on I didn't get the one from last year either. They look cool, and I like the old Remco stuff, but I have so much stuff already. So
I know, but like, why stop now, Thanos?
There's other stuff I want to get, like that dragon.
No, you're right. You're right.
Those tigers.
You're right. Zulian tigers, a bunch of cool, elves coming, right? Yeah, no, you're right.
The Berserk figures coming that are going to be pretty expensive too.
Man, it's a trip. It's just crazy how much cool toys there are. It's so hard to walk away from this. And then, as you pointed out, the Necronominous sort of effects from the Undead pack, like all of this stuff, these things popping out of his eyes. And the Hot Topic belt situation, man, this is like, I think it's really cool. Going back to the IP Oz breaks down, they had Warrior Beasts, Warlords, and I believe Galactic Heroes. Yeah. And as Allison points out, Hercules was actually a DC Comics and part of the Remco Warlord line. And Warlord was also a DC character at one point, or they had comics. Cool stuff, man. This stuff, I agree, man. Look at that. Whoo. So good.
That head and those effects is awesome. But like I said, I got a couple of the undead builders coming, so I can be like, okay, I don't need this.
Yeah.
Or, as Adam says, we don't need any of it. But...
Sure. Yep. We really don't. But see, this is the thing. So I'm hoping this is the true, Joe. Like, I think you can have it delivered, but you still have to buy a ticket to the show. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I did last year. That might have been, I guess that's what I did. It's like you buy a ticket and then you buy the figure. I'll see if that makes sense for me this year. You're right. It isn't something I need in terms of like all the cool things. But again, with Four Horsemen, it becomes one of those things where it's like, if I put money on this thing, I know that I've never been disappointed when I open up.
Yeah.
Like the quality is all there. So it's just cool to see stuff that I know wouldn't otherwise be made in Mythic Legions aesthetically. Like you're not going to get a dude painted like skeleton in this way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he's cool. Like the black and white looks really good too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this, I really love the green translucent flames and the green eyes. Exactly. The way that green color pops from that black and white, killer. Even that gold. Anyway, more cool stuff to consider to buy. Maybe this is your Cobra Kai Karate Kid
yeah.
tribute to this guy. Speaking of bright green, Storm Collectibles. I have a few. I'm still like on the fence of whether or not I'm gonna like. I've had Zangief over at Big Bad, like in and out of the pile of loot. I think I might, but then this Blanca, I think is killer. Just like, and I think is it Mr. Lee? No, who does these photos?
Lee, that's what it says.
I think so. Yeah, that's right. It is Mr. Lee. These figures, man, or these photos showing off the way it poses and the way you can kind of sort of hit those screen accurate moves is just really cool.
Yeah.
I wish I'd gotten that Sagat back in the day because he looks really good. But yeah, I don't know. Are you into Storm Collectibles? Have you gotten any?
I have some of the Golden Axe Storm Collectibles, but those are the only ones I've got. They're good figures. Street Fighter, I'm kind of Jada's good. Honestly, I didn't even think I would get Street Fighter, but everybody's talking about how great the figures were, and then I got one in hand. I'm like, I'll complete the roster, I guess.
Yeah. And Nick, I think it's a little bit of both. And obviously, like he's open to both Zangief and Sagat. Well, I wonder because I like Storm Collectibles. Everyone that I've gotten, I've heard people like really shy away from that sort of rubbery overlay thing. I think it's cool.
You have the Mithril.
I do.
Right?
Yep,
He's got that underneath. You can't tell because I have soft goods over him, but I actually really like the Mithril design. I probably like the Mithril Orc a little bit better than the memory.
Me too.
It moves a little bit better. I don't know. I think it's really well done.
Yeah, and so anyway, I think this Zangief is cool. I'm sorry, this Blanca is cool. I seriously doubt I'll go for him, especially the way I've been sitting on the fence with Zangief. But I just think it's really cool that they're slowly going back to Street Fighter. And anyway, I think it's cool. I know there's a lot of chatter out there. People are like, oh, Jada's killing it with Street Fighter. It's much better. Like both things can exist. I'm just looking at this thing and I think it looks fantastic.
I mean, if you already started the Storm Collectible, like they don't scale together, so you do
right.
need them, like if you want to keep the roster.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this Blanc is cool. Look at that. Oh, that's killer. Anyway, moving on. So I'm with you on those orcs. These are the memory toys / medi toys / hero toys.
These are really customs, right?
I don't think so. I think I think because this account, like some of them are like this is like a soft good set that you were showing off, but these are stuff that's like available, right, or will be available. That's what I'm assuming because we've seen what's his name, Hellscream.
Yeah, it's Garage. This oh shoot!
Oh, avalanche of orcs.
No, my light fell over. The Garage. This is the Star Studios one. So we've seen him, and then his dad too, Grom. And then the one in the robes and the one in the gold and black armor is Thrall. I got the custom kit for Thrall.
Which is the same one here, right?
Yeah. I think it's the exact same pieces.
Well, that's what I mean. I think these are all like teasing what's coming.
And then Gul'dan, and that's Grom.
Yep. You nerd.
It's weird though what's going on with like
push up your glasses, your invisible glasses. There you go. Cool.
It's weird what's going on with the orcs though, because it's like they're doing like a lot of the like warlords, but throughout different companies. So it's like it'd be kind of cool to see like if they actually end up completing all those.
Like between multiple companies.
Yeah, yeah, because like that Garrosh and then the Grom, but it's Mithril that's doing the Black Hand.
Yep.
So
what's the name of the shaman dude?
The guy with like the bones things. That is Gul'dan. Yeah, he's a warlock. He was the first one to drink the demon blood and make the pact that turned them all green.
Right. I think he's really cool. Again, he's just one of the more standout kind of like unique characters. That's how I feel about Garrosh too. Like I just like his armor and of course he's not these are the corrupted, is that right? When they're green?
Yeah, yeah.
Is this the sort of like default or like I guess natural color?
Like that's what they look like before they drink the demon blood, and then they drink demon blood again, they turn red. That's like they've done a couple red ones.
Yep. Like your Blade Master. You got the red Blade Master, right?
I got the green Blade Master.
Wow. Got it.
Yeah, I do have the red Bounty Hunter, though.
Do you feel the need to be complete on these sort of Warcraft things?
And I've actually passed on a couple of the like I'm not getting all those Murlocs that are coming out. Okay. I'm going to get the one like the Angler Hunter because I just thought he looked cool. And then Varian's son, they're doing like a version of him, but they're doing the one that's like he's corrupted, and I don't really like. I didn't like that part of the story. I don't really care for the design on it. Like it's like, yeah, I don't need that one.
Well, as you and folks know, or maybe not, I played Warcraft, right? Like 1, 2, and a little bit of 3. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't think I actually finished. I think I finished like the human story. I forget how that works.
Warcraft 3 and the expansion, amazing story. Like really worth the playthrough. And they did a remastered version of it with like newer graphics and stuff.
Yeah, I watched the sort of story clips up there on YouTube and stuff, and like the story's awesome. Yeah. I just, but that said, like for me, it's all about like sort of the design too. And I just think this guy just looks so cool, like those big old horns and then his head. So between that and some of the other ones that are coming out, they're unique. That's kind of where I'm leaning. So
his shoulders, the demon that they drank the blood of, these are his tusks. And his dad died, like killing the demon, and basically breaking the demon's hold on the orcs.
Was that in the story
that was in 3?
In 3? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't even watched because they do like they do different strands, I guess, of the story. And I don't think I've finished all that. Maybe I'm finished. I don't know. I got to go back. But this stuff is really cool. Again, I don't think they're customs. I think this is all stuff that's coming, and this is their way of teasing. They'll just drop them in photos and then they move on, right?
We've seen so much stuff teased that like I have no idea what the timeline is. But there's like the Blood Elf Paladin with the horse. I really want that.
I think that's the nature of them being unlicensed, right? They just kind of are like they're a little bit cagey when it comes to like what's coming and when. So I don't know, but every time they tease something, it kind of eventually comes out. So we'll see. Let's shift gears a little bit from one sort of unlicensed property to another. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but not. Shout out to the Toy Migos for posting these. I first saw these on the Toy Migos Discord. It actually started as a teaser. Rage Toys put out a teaser. They were like, hey, the next wave is going to be Crimson and Violet Sisters and Summer, I think. So this is that line that sort of did the Ninja Turtles reimagined as sort of they call it Samurai Force. And they are all named, the 4 brothers are named after the seasons, right? Summer, autumn, spring, fall, whatever. Yeah, winter. And then they teased these, and it was kind of unclear. They just said crimson and violet, and I was like, "What's that? What do folks think that is?" And some folks guessed, "Yeah, these are maybe these are the women turtles that have come up," and they were right. So this was revealed today. I want to say like at midnight ish. Someone posted it to the Discord. So this one is, which one is this? This is actually it doesn't say. They think it's either crimson or violet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just looking at like the way they've conceptualized this sort of this woman turtle compared to what was it, Jenica and I forget the other one, actually look like in the turtle lore.
The other one was Venus. Right?
That was from the Fox show, right?
Yeah, I'm not a big turtles guy really, but I do like. I have the Donatello from this line, and I like it a lot. So
the scale, they're smaller though, right? So.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me with them. Like he is pretty small, but I think he works.
Because they could be different kind of creatures or whatever.
Yeah. But
I really like the way that they've did the armor. Check that out, man. I really love how they're like the actual looking like typical turtles are fine. They look really cool, but I love what they're doing, especially with the sort of with the samurai / ninja looks that they've done.
Yeah,
I just think they're really cool looking, and if they like weren't turtle related at all, I mean I could see these toys being really attractive to people just because they're cool concepts.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick her up. The style they have, like with all of the ones they put out so far, I'm kind of bummed I missed the Leo. I have the Nike on pre-order, which should be coming pretty soon.
Damn. But, well, the posing's solid too, and it's the same for the boys too, right? They pose really well.
I think they just upped the articulation. The Donatello one doesn't have quite all that articulation. He's not bad, but the Mikey one's supposed to have better articulation. They're supposed to re-release the Leo with upgraded articulation too. So,
that's always a bummer if you got that early one, but. I got the Master, as you know, Splinter.
Yeah.
I think it's a great figure, great design and everything. Movement's a little weird because of his body shape, and but still a cool figure. And then I don't know if did you catch what was in the background?
I missed it.
Here, check it out. So this is Rage Toys, folks, formerly Fury Toys, and we were talking about all sorts of Warcraft stuff. And one of these figures, God, that looks so good. Looks cool in this colorway too. But here in the top right, you'll see the Fury Toys. Come on. I can't really fast forward because it's right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the tiger.
Yeah, their version of the Zulian tiger. For me, this is an easy pass. I'm just like, I can't buy everything. The scale on these are wild, like for me and the big stuff that I've got. But the fact that they're actually making these two characters in this line, the two women, I think is awesome. And if I kind of didn't point it out, but her hips too, the whole shape of the body, I think is really smart the way they're handling it. So,
yeah, I figured I would just get the 4 turtles and it's like these will be like my turtle representation. But I'm gonna get her. She looks pretty good not to get.
Yeah, I'd give you dirty looks if you got all the boys and then you can get her because she's rad.
Yeah.
So there you go. I don't have to give you dirty looks.
But I like their artistic style. Like those are really like they just make cool choices.
100%. Samurai Force is what they're called by Rage Toys. Check them out. They have nothing to do with Ninja Turtles. And but if you're into that, go buy them for that. Otherwise, they're just really good looking. Quick update. This is a while ago, but I realized I never showed it on the channel on the news. But the Brutal Realm folks, obviously, they're still in the stages of producing these things, and the Kickstarter's done, and they're now using that capital to kind of get these figures out. But they're working with, I want to say it's CJSM, is that right? Yeah, with CJ and Keithlin over at CJSM, and these are the first pictures of the prototypes that they're doing for the capes, which. I think really just adds to the character. Look at that. It's so cool. So Grimskull is looking really cool. This is their like big bad. I think he looked great with a cape. I know it's not like the most innovative thing. It's pretty straightforward, cape, but
still looks nice.
Yes. Amazing how much it adds to that character, right? Look at that. Just brings the whole thing to life. And I don't know, I'm well over the sculpted cape thing.
Yeah. And
It's like
super over the cheap just strip of fabric with like no wire, and it's like mostly see-through, and it's taped to the box, and then it always has like a weird warp spot where you pull the tape off of. Like, I can do with all that.
That's pretty much Mattel, what you're describing there. God, that's the worst when it comes to Masterverse.
But then there
except
came
for King
Graceful.
Grayskull.
Yeah, it was so good. It's like, why did you stop doing it that way?
Yeah, they did it right for sure on that one. So definitely looking forward to Brutal Realm stuff, man. But it's going to be a little bit. I'm forgetting what their timeline is. I got to bring those guys back on here. That'd be good. Anyway, speaking of Realm stuff, Toy Addict was here earlier, and let me go ahead and share this right now. This week, I think it was Tuesday, they started their t-shirt pre-order. And I think the logo's rad. I'm really excited for this company. They're the ones who are doing the sort of like take on creatures that we know from horror and fantasy. They're doing a vampire figure that they're going to kickstart sometime in 2025. And just to, they've been asked a lot by myself included, like, hey man, can I get that t-shirt y'all were wearing at Legion's Con? So they put it up. It's over on Articulated Empire. I believe it's like a month or so that they're available for pre-order. So check this out. A $30 t-shirt, support the company. They'll take this, and every little bit's going to help them free up a little bit of capacity to focus on this project and get it to us. But I just think it's cool. Fun fact, the logo is actually created by Jason of Spiro. So if you want to support in a particular way, do you do like t-shirts and stuff, merch for like toy stuff?
I mean, I have some toy t-shirts, mostly Motu. I'm actually underneath my sweatshirt. I have your
oh, hey, there you go. Look at that, modicollector.com. Go check it out. Go to the website, modicollector.com. See what that's all about. I forget. Is that still working?
I don't know.
Modi.
That's funny though, because that was like my first interaction with you. It was like, hey man, I bought your shirt, and then like we talked for a little bit. And...
Yeah, go check that out. But it is still available. What's up? 78 points. Yo. But hey, support Jorge, Carlos, what they've got going on with From the Realm. Just a little t-shirt. I was about to say something mean about their music choice, but I'm gonna refrain. What a dick. Okay, let's have costumes. Was that?
Their vampire looks great though.
Yes. I will be. I interviewed those guys not too long ago. I'm in the middle of editing. I've actually gotten through half of it for a show on the channel, so look out for that. But let's do some quick customs, and then let's go ahead and get out of here, because on top of all the actual stuff that people are selling and pre-ordering, then there's the folks who just make really cool stuff. And I think there's something about customs that reminds me that like you can't even buy these things, right? So the custom world is actually where that reminds me that like, oh, I can't buy this. I really want it. And so it's proven to me that I can do without.
Yeah.
So I just maybe put that up there for some inspiration for folks. But this thing is really cool, man. This LAAT customized. I want to say this was stuff that was in that old cartoon. I don't know. I didn't read it. But I don't think that's even here. But maybe not. Maybe this is totally original creation, but it feels like something that was in the Tartakovsky stuff.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. I'd have to go back. It's been forever since I've seen those.
Yeah. But killer stuff, man. I think it's really cool looking in the idea that these clones would be like, customizing their stuff and painting their stuff. I just think it's rad. Nothing more to say about this. I don't know. Did you ever do 3 3/4 Star Wars?
Yeah. The Force Awakens, or not Force Awakens, the Power of the Force. I bought a bunch of those. I actually have like a ton of the figures out in the garage in a bin.
Gotcha.
I pulled out one of the old Boba Fett's and cleaned it up just yesterday, actually.
Did you do vehicles? No.
I had a couple. I'm trying to think of which ones I had. Nothing real big. I had like one of the little droid flyer things and like Darth Maul's cycle and some other stuff.
Yeah, that Darth Maul cycle is really cool conceptually.
Yeah. I had the Shadows of the Empire ship at one point, but I have no idea what happened to it.
The what is it? Out something?
I don't know. Oz would know.
Outrider. I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, that's a cool ship, and I'm sure that's gonna be coming back soon. It's been like in the backgrounds in movies and stuff. Anyway, I just think this is cool, but let's go ahead and move on. Some custom parts, man. Just some, again, cool things that are out there. These are things you can actually buy. So who was it? Rogue Printing Machine with designs by Moai Wei and painted by Bierman Photography. This stuff is killer. Are you a big fan of Disney Robin Hood?
I loved that movie as a kid. So yeah.
That's what this stuff totally screams to me. I'm surprised we haven't seen rhinos yet. I know they're coming in a walk eventually, but that's a ways off. In the meantime, check this out. I think they're really cool.
The Zesray rhino.
The red one.
Yeah.
There's something about that one that didn't catch. There's something that didn't read rhino to me.
Yeah,
Doesn't it have like a short horn or something?
One of them might be cut. Honestly, I didn't look at it too close. I was like, oh, it's kind of cool. And then I was like, I got the Minotaur, like same body, I think, right?
Yeah, I got both of them, and I think that's probably why I was like, don't even look. Don't look at the rhino.
Me too. Like I got the Minotaur. I'm like, you have a big Zestray creature. You don't need another one.
Yeah. But the details on these are cool. The painting is great. Love the color choices. Again, man, I'm seeing more and more. I think some of these companies that tend to do like the kind of like darker edge stuff, like Horseman, right, are embracing color, and I appreciate it. Part of what attracted me to AWOC, right, was just the use of color, but still the cool scopes. But anyway, that's cool. Check this out. Have you seen this? Okay.
That's on the new orc body, right?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. This is the Mithril Action one, right? Oh, no, sorry. Memory Toys, Medi Toys, new body, the taller one. And I look at the way this thing moves. Like there is no other Hulk. Obviously not Diamond Select. I have the anniversary one that I love. But you can't get them to do this stuff. And so it takes taking your orc and putting on a Hulk head and some of these soft goods. This thing is awesome. This is by Best Lee Studio Custom. Badass.
That's awesome.
This is the Hulk, man. Like, and you can do all sorts of stuff. I mean, maybe he's not as thick because he tends to be on like taller, slimmer kind of, but it totally works, man. Yeah. It's crazy. It's like all these companies do these amazing things, and then these other folks, these creative minds, are like, cool, let me do something else, make it even cooler. That's what it means to be a toy collector right now and a toy fan. Anyway, look at that. Look at that pose.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking now, like when I get that orc in, maybe I need some Hulk parts.
Yep. I'll take 2, please.
Well, I mean, I can always just take the stuff off and set them up for a picture and then put them back to the configuration I want them.
It's true. Here's my pitch on that. Think of the time that's going to take for you to do, and then think about how much if you were moving through life, how much your hourly rate would be. And that's where I'm like, yeah. Anyway, that's, I know, a place of privilege, but I'm just saying. Yeah, this stuff is rad. So shout out to them. Let's see what a couple other customs. Man, I'm looking for a damn good Hellboy figure.
I've considered the knockoff Hellboy a couple times. There's one floating around that's got like the really comic booky style.
Yep.
I've a couple times almost picked it up, but then I'm like, I don't know if I trust the knockoff. I've heard it's pretty decent, but
Yeah, I mean, but do you know how much that would run you? Was it like $20?
it's
Sub
like
$20?
30-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's always a gamble. You could probably see like how people review them, like those CT ones.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was that did it. I've seen it, and I've seen some people say it was like pretty decent. So
yeah,
and I've seen some pictures with it where you can't tell, like, it's the paint job on it wasn't bad.
Right. For me, I love Mignola's art, so I love when they create the figures that look just like his art. That totally makes sense. But if I have to pretend that I have limits, that's where I kind of like, okay, that's not going to work on my shelf. But then it has me looking at things like this, right, where people are getting that like Four Horsemen style aesthetic that I could kind of fudge in, right? It's a little bit more on the realistic side.
See, I don't mind my styles clashing too much. I have like anime stuff and like realistic stuff and cartoony stuff. So.
And that's rad. Yeah, it's like every individual collector can choose. I guess this is the part where I'm supposed to disagree with you and get angry and call you names and stuff and tell you
you don't know how to be a nerd, man.
Yeah, but no, I more power to you, man. Just like, let's just hang out and talk about how rad this stuff is. But I think it's really cool. I love the head sculpt. Let's see who the head sculpt by. It doesn't say. I need to do that, and I'll do my search. Hey, look, you guys related? No. Maybe not. But I think this is really cool. I wish I had a Hellboy. The Mezco one is pretty cool, like the movie one, and he's a little bit bigger. I get this. I'll see him. My brother ended up picking him up. I'll see it during the holidays and kind of check it out.
I really wish I had done the Mezco Space Ghost, but I didn't know anything about it at the time. But every time I see that, I'm like, damn, that's a cool figure.
Yeah. They'll come back around. Let's do some quick customs. Nolan of Nolan Collects dropped this. I saw that you liked it as well.
Yeah, the Warcraft troll.
Yeah. So in Warcraft, these are bigger dudes, right? These are big old trolls.
They're like tall and kind of lanky. Like I think the Frankenstein body would be great for a custom form. But
yeah, man,
that head and the it's like they're cool. They're a unique kind of creature that I'd like to actually see some of those toys come out.
Yeah, man, Nolan does some good stuff. I love his customs. I love his posing. He really kind of gets the most out of these figures. I love what he did here too, with this sort of female head on this big old buff body.
I've been seeing a lot more female heads on the male bodies lately. It works pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. Didn't Trevor do that last night on the Clubhouse?
Yeah, he did.
He put
I've seen a lot of people. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing that lately, and it's like it actually works better than I thought it would. But like you were saying, like the armor, it's not like you're not going to have that part sculpted in the armor anyway.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out Nolan, man. Good to see this stuff. Loving your customs. I hope you are having fun. The Reflector Files put this out, and I'm just like, man, that's how you do displays, right?
Yeah.
I love it, man. Magneto going up against Transformers. That would game over. But I think it's a cool display. Check out the stand too. I know. Yeah. I know you and I are into those Iron Wing collectibles.
The picture I posted today, actually, I used that stand, and then I actually went in and removed the wire, which I never do. Usually I just leave the wire in the shot, but for today's, I actually went in and removed it.
Did that take a while?
No, super easy. Because they have now where it's like you just kind of like select it and let AI think about how to do it instead of like before where it's like, I mean, it would have been easy if I would have set it on a tripod, shot it without the stuff there, and then shot it with the stuff there, and then you can just go and like erase it. But
yeah,
they don't really set up a tripod. I'm kind of like always, let me get the angle I want, like moving around. And
D Amazing does that too. That's what I learned from intern. He just kind of no tripod, so you really got to capture that thing, right? There's no Anyway, I will say that I thought about it because I'm doing those shorts. I wonder. I got to look into it. There's probably John. If John's still here, let me know, man. I wonder if the Premiere, I know he uses Premiere, does the automatic kind of like getting rid of the stuff. Anyway. Ooh, man, I've been neglecting the chat. Sorry, man. Let's see. Where are folks at? We've got the gunship from the Clone Wars is, yes, it was from the Clone Wars. Tartakovsky, I think, is what you're trying to say. That design, maybe? Because that was our question. Sir Rocksteady. The Rhino. Yes. God. Absolutely, man. The custom Hulk was awesome. The poses were great. Maybe. I don't know if would that be radioactive? Is this the one you were talking about? 1,000 Toys bootleg?
That might be it.
Okay. Zio knows his stuff. He's saying pretty good. And let's see. Okay, last thing I think I got. Oh no, I think that was it. Actually, that was it as far as the stuff. So, like, did we actually try to sort out what toys we should get and whatnot? No, that was as close as I get to clickbaity. Like, the reality is there's no sense to this stuff, right? But I will say that like many collectors right now, my issue is always money, but space.
Yep. I just expanded my space, so good to go for a little while longer.
Yeah, so that's definitely something I need to worry about. Congratulations to you. I know you're gonna quickly fill up some of that space once that cat slayer comes in, right?
Well, some of the stuff where the cat slayer is going to go is new, in the new room. So I added a toy room. I didn't add a room. I just taking over a room in my house.
Right.
But the cat slayer will go in my living room. But I have a huge living room. It's like a really long living room, high ceilings. So I have like plenty of room out there. The cat slayer will go in there, and then that is it's basically just gonna be storage and accessories. I bought a bunch of these shoe hangers. The walls are gonna be lined. I'm gonna put shelves above them for like the dios and play sets, and then I have like the middle area open, and then the closets and accessories storage basically. So I'm getting more organized, and I have storage space.
Yeah, man. Good for you. And you take photos too, so it's like some of your stuff you can take photos of, and then I don't know how that ends working out for you, if that's a pain in the butt, because then you can't store them the way you want and display them, and you always kind of constantly take them out, or if that's
the shoe hangers are great because they're clear, so I can just kind of look through and be like, oh, I want to use this guy. When I'm looking for I get an idea without looking at the toys, then I got to go and figure out like where is that, and that can be a little hectic sometimes. Yeah. But I'm going to try to organize it better when I set everything up in the other room. So.
All right, man. As far as the show proper, that's kind of all I think that I had prepped to show. And I did want to kind of end with reminding folks about your work. And since we're in the holiday season, this one was dope. This is for the latest, the most recent AWOC photo collab, right?
It's a holiday season, and the theme was game, so I was like, why not have him the dreidel? And then I like made the little coins out of just cardboard and a hole punch and some gold paint.
Nice. Can I ask why you chose Pale?
Pale's kind of always my go-to AWOC.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was because of his hair, but
yeah, I can see that. But no, he's kind of my go-to AWOC. Him and Kali are like my two. Like, if I'm going to shoot an AWOC shot, it's usually those two.
Yeah. One of my favorite AWOC shots is the sort of Pale versus Kali that you did pretty early on.
Yeah,
that thing's rad.
I wish I had that for the AWOC collab, because I was like, I'm never going to top this picture. It came out so good, but I reshot that thing like weeks and weeks. Like, I'd try it. I put it to the Maz's toy box, and they'd be like, oh, well, try this, do this, do this. And I'm like, okay, so I go and do some edits, posted it again. And then it's like, oh, well, this, and this. And then finally, that's where it ended up, where I was satisfied with it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's great. I just love it. And as far as lore and everything, I think it's really cool to kind of see them staring at each other in that way for lore reasons. I think it's great. Yeah, man, you continue to pump out the photos. Some of them, which I cannot necessarily show on here, but I will tell you some of your recent Elvira shots are
Those have been
fantastic.
fun.
Yeah, like just the use of her sort of like her expression faces in the way you pose them up. If you are intrigued, definitely go check out _Thanos Copter. If you are squeamish or prudish, you might want to not. But if you're like, hey, you realize it's all kind of fun and games, and then go check it out. If you're sex posy, you'll have fun. So some good stuff, man. Here, let me share a couple of it, and it's not all that way because I get sensitive for you sometimes when people only mention that aspect of your work.
Yeah.
But no, man, this stuff is cool. It's like you do some really cool stuff that is not necessarily your Wednesday.
I just
not
like to have fun with the toys,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
the Wednesday thing was kind of a gimmick that's just like, okay, it's stuck. When people enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But it does put that label on me.
Yeah, it does, and it comes up a lot, and people will say, "Oh, what about if Thanos gets it?" It's like, yeah, no. But so I do get a little sensitive to that. But this stuff is rad, man. Like it really is just like, yeah, you do great stuff, and I hope that people don't skip out on your stuff because they think it's only the Wednesday.
I've lost and alienated a lot of people, but
yeah,
okay.
Right. But it's fun, man. It's fun. Like here's another one that I really like. That is totally safe for work, but it's just hilarious. It just like, not being so serious about the what you're doing.
Was, for the Toyvember for the Toy Elite contest, and it was unexpected hero or unlikely hero. And I was like, well, I got the Jay and Silent Bob figures, and it'd be kind of cool to have Sorceress giving Jay the sword.
Yep, Snoochie Boochies. Yeah, shout out to the Toyvember folks over at Toy Elite. They finished that up, and it was kind of cool to sort of see what everybody did. I was only able to do one photo, but man, November got crazy after Legion's Con. But I will say this stuff, man.
I managed to do every day. I had a one in their theme. Plus, I was posting stuff for other collabs and just other pictures in general. So,
was it not helpful for them to tell you in advance?
Yes, because there were some that like I did not know what to do, whatsoever. Like it took me a couple days to figure out. Like the Spider Band was like the celebration. I was like, I don't know what to do for this, and then I like was kind of looking through stuff, and I was like, oh, here's all my music instruments. Like I'll just set that up. Like, I thought it was. I mean,
it was awesome, man.
Yeah, some of the stuff. I think the prompts were like only I got how it related to the prompt, but. Yeah,
and that's I think how these things should be, as far as like it's an open idea to inspire people, but not necessarily to like handcuff you. This is dope, man. This free run figure period is cool, but if you know the character, like the pose and the whole like quiet before the storm is kind of interesting. Maybe more like the quiet after.
Yeah,
so much of that is about her reflecting.
That one I actually had already shot, and I was just kind of like, this will work for this theme, so I put it there. Because I had that one shot for a while, because I have a bunch of pictures, because I just take pictures all the time.
Yeah, man. It's great stuff. Here, this one's relatively tame, and I love it. I don't care what people... This is fine. Come on, calm down, folks. But yeah, I've always wanted to see the Munsters and Addams Family and Elvira kind of like together, just because of like, growing up, the whole horror shtick campy thing that was happening. I thought that those three kind of worked together.
Yeah, she's been a lot of fun. I didn't really expect to get her, and then it was like around Halloween time when I saw her. I was like, yeah, pick her up. And
yeah, and so I'm kind of curious, are you going to go back and use that Dee Dee's couch?
Maybe. I'm kind of moving on from Elvira right now, because I want to do some Christmas themed stuff. So there's gonna be like Krampus spankings, and so.
All right, folks, definitely go check it out. Seriously, go check out the _Thanos Copter. Check out the photos. Just if you don't see something that like offends your sensitive, whatever your sensitive sensibilities, if that's the thing, just ignore it. Wait till Thursday. and you'll be fine. Lots of cool toy stuff. You still doing the journey? I haven't been following. I'll admit I haven't been following.
I've taken a break because I'm gonna do a monthly format instead of doing it every week. Just it's hard for me to.
Let me pause. Because I didn't. If you're not knowing what the hell I'm talking about he was going through photo by photo on his YouTube channel and sort of going that, but it was weekly. So now you're moving to monthly.
I'm moving to monthly. I took a break in November because I had already shot the Naughty November from the previous year. So like, if you go to my channel, like you can watch the playlist and they're all in order. And that one, even though it was shot earlier, is in the right order on the timeline. I've been meaning to do December, but I've been working so much lately that like when I get home, I just haven't had the bandwidth to sit down and do it. Yeah. But it'll get done this month. So December will be coming fairly soon. And then I'll be doing monthly going forward.
I find it inspiring just to kind of like see, and you kind of see how people grow, develop, but also figure out certain things. And then in your cases, there's a lot of just like, hey, just experiment, just play with it. I just took it. And so it's really helpful and a good reminder of like, sometimes stuff doesn't have to feel so serious or like a huge thought process.
Well, I tell people like, if, you want to take toy photos, like have fun with it. If you're not having fun with it, don't do it. Like play with your toys some other way. Don't force yourself to do something. But if you're having fun, you'll get better. I mean, I've gotten a lot better. I look at some of my old stuff and I was like, man, I thought this was a great shot. And now I'm like, I'll pick it apart and like, and I have like, even to this day, like some pictures, I'm like, it didn't quite turn out exactly how I wanted, but I'll still post it because like, it took the time to work on it. Might as well.
Yeah. Well, I think your stuff is cool. And I want to say thank you for hanging out today here. This is the music that real quick. Let's pretend like this is professional. But yeah. Beat drop. Yeah, thank you for hanging out today. I know that it was a quick ask, but I appreciate you being able to jump on with me and hang out, talk toys. Good luck to you in 2025 and trying to decide what you can actually buy and not buy.
Hoping for a dragon.
Yeah, that's what we're all hoping. I want to see your dragon chilling on top of the cat's lair.
Yeah, I definitely, if I get that attacking the cat's lair is a shot I will do.
Right on. And thank you to everybody else for hanging out today. I hope you had some fun. I hope you don't take life too seriously because like it'll literally kill you. What do I got going on for the holiday? Pretty much not gonna go dark. It's just gonna be every week, every Sunday. There's still gonna be a live thing. There may be some extras in there as well. Next Sunday is going to be Michael from Insightful Imagery. And then I think the Sunday after that is going to be Leland from Retrospect Customs. So come back, hang out. Where can we find you other than Instagram? You're going to be every Saturday pretty much?
Instagram, yeah, every Saturday on the Clubhouse. Every once in a while I miss one. But I've been kind of antisocial lately, so I don't think I'm going to do that for a while. And then YouTube, like I said, sometime this month a new video will drop. I don't have the timeline on it yet. So.
Cool. So look out for that, folks. I hope everybody has a great Sunday. And I think that's it. Let's say goodbye to the people. Goodbye, people. Buy toys. Have fun. Stay happy. Stop being an a-hole. Enjoy life. Woo! That's advice. Something. Yeah?